Okay, we're going to do a quick setup tutorial on the ProEFI PDM. It's very simple. Once you get into opening your calibration, go into Setup, Power Distribution Module. You've got 1 through 8, 9 through 12, and then you've got the monitor for your digital inputs to verify that those are hooked up correctly. On 1 through 8, we're just going to describe how you set up one. All the other ones work the same way. So you have the input availability through CAN. That's anything the computer's broadcasting across CAN can be set up as an input, or you have your external hardwire inputs that be via a switch that you wire into the PDM. So we're going to do CAN. We're not using a digital switch, so we don't need to worry about the selection there. What we want that functionality to do, so if we want it to be starter control, for example, you select that. If we want it to be a light or motor functionality, a light motor is just going to select how the soft start is done. A motor is going to start up differently than a light. So if you want to use the soft start, then this is a 0 to 100% ramp rate, 0 to 255. So that just controls how soft it starts up. The default is 0 on there. It means it's going to work like a switch. If we put higher numbers in there, then it's going to ramp up slowly. So if you're turning on a fan or something like that to prevent that inrush of current, this is a soft start that you could use for that. Then you've got your fuse limit for that particular output that's selectable in 2.5 amp increments up to 15 amps. So you select what amperage you want there. This last commanded on or off, default is last commanded. That's how we recommend leaving that. That basically just means if you're driving down the road and somehow the comms goes away to the PDM, it's not going to turn this function off. If it was on, it's going to leave it on. Okay, and then when you key cycle, it'll start back over and it'll let you know if you've got like a comms issue or whatever down in the faults. So leave that at last commanded. Then you have your power on reset enabled. So that's basically if the ECU somehow loses power and regains power, it's going to reset. Again, that's disabled from the factory. It's going to stay where it was, when it turns back on. Okay, that's basically the PDM stuff. You've got your faults are going to be displayed here. Whether your open circuit or short circuit or open circuit is done here. The current draw that's currently being used by that output, and then if it's hit overcurrent, it'll tell you here. This automatically resets the switch when it goes over that current. It'll shut it off, it'll turn back on, and it'll retest it. So that's how that works there. Your digital inputs, any of the inputs they rest kind of in the middle, so you can use a ground switch input or a power switch input. Either way will work for any of the inputs, and this is just telling you how it's functioning right there. Then you've got the voltages coming in on that line. So this is just a way to monitor all the digital inputs. But again, as you can see, it's very easy to set this up. On top here, this is going to be whether you want to broadcast the power distribution module stuff. If you're using one, have that to yes. If you're not, set it to no, and it'll disable all this stuff. So that's basically the ProEFI power distribution module. Very easy to set up, very simple to use.